Oh boy, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. You know, I guess, bro. This one was rough. Honestly,
Dude,
I'm not mad. I'm not even disappointed.
I am, bro.
I, I'm
What are you
gen
talking about?
I'm genuinely confused. Like I'm not even disappointed. I'm confused. I do not understand Jailton Almeida. He has like multiple personality disorder or something. Sometimes he comes out and it's icy red, and he comes out and he's out there to take his opponents, take their head off. Like he's going for a takedown, he gets the finish quickly. And then you have these fights like his fight with Volkov or Derek Lewis or this one where he's faster, he's clearly
Better
more
cardio.
athletic, but he just looks like he doesn't care. I mean, I don't know how at the end of the fight it looked like he still had energy left, like a good amount of energy left. And if he's anywhere if he's any way self-aware, he would know that he left a lot of energy in the tank and had an extremely lackluster performance. At the end of the fight, he's like smiling and stuff. Dude, if I was in that spot, I'd be so disappointed with myself, or at least disappointed that my opponent wasn't initiating or he was trying to stall. Like, he was just like, it just looks like he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the fight, he's like smiling and laughing and hugs and like puts his hands up. It's like, what? You have energy left and you got 30-27, and you had ways to beat your opponent and you just didn't do it. Like, I don't understand. It's like he's like uninitiated. I don't really get it. But we know he's capable of going out there and hunting for a finish. That's how he started his UFC career. It's just weird. Like, I don't even understand it. I don't understand it.
Do you think his knockout against Blades changed him at all? I know his fight with Derek was before that, I'm pretty sure. So, he proved that he could have disappointing performances. But do you think getting finished for the first time in the UFC kind of like neutered him in a sense?
I don't think so, because he got 2 round 1 finishes after that. Like literally round 1 finishes. He subbed Alexander Romanov and he KO'd Sergey Spivak. And then he had that split decision loss to Alexander Volkov. But dude, I think this was legitimately the worst one yet. Because having watched this Rizvan Kuniev, Alexander Volkov is much better than Rizvan Kuniev. Like, Jailton Almeida left so much potential that he just didn't make the most of. Rizvan Kuniev is not good. I mean, from what we saw, he looked like he did not. He wanted to do the absolute bare minimum to win that fight. He literally just rammed Almeida into the cage and just sat there. I mean,
Yeah.
Dan Murgliata had to separate them multiple times. It was like Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo. It was like very similar to that fight. But at least Aldo in that fight was like defending and like trying to move. Jailton Almeida just looked like he was half asleep. Like, he just didn't care to be there. He's like, oh, whatever happens, happens. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're ranked number 6 in the division and you're fighting an unranked guy. Like, this is the writing is on the wall. They're looking for a reason to cut you. Like, you got to fight for your spot at this point. And it looks like he just didn't care.
Here's the thing. Like, I have lost some money on Jalton. And I have a lot of bad words to say about him, but if I'm being, optimistic, I genuinely think it's a game plan problem.
Yeah.
For the fact that and a coaching problem, because I think Jalton is an amazing athlete. Amazing
100%.
athlete.
And he's got
He
a
has
lot of
the
skills. I mean, we've seen
how
it. He can take people down really, really well.
Yeah.
He's got great submission skills if he commits to it. Like, we know he has
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And he's the definition of somebody. We talked about Alexander Rakic. How I'm like, dude, so many light heavyweights who are maybe in a bad rut right now or really big for the division could blow up to like 235, 240 and probably be a top 5 heavyweight. And I genuinely believe that. I think Jalton is a perfect case for that. But what sticks to me is that at the end of this fight, he's putting his hand up like he thinks he's going to win.
Right.
And that leads me to believe that his coaches thought he was going to win. And they're probably,
Yeah.
The fight's finished and they're probably like, good job. I think we eked out a 29-28. I think we're good. That's
Right.
probably what his coaches said to him, you know? And we talked about Michal Olchechik switching gyms. And I genuinely think Gelatin has a mentality problem. He, and at some fights he goes crazy and gets finishes. Some he just looks like a neutered dog, and I think that if he's training out of Brazil, I think the move is to go to Shooter Box, train with Charles.
Oh, yeah.
He will show you what looking for a finish really is.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody of Gelatin's athletic ability with somebody like Charles in his corner, I think we'll see Gelatin 2.0.
100%.
So at the end of the day, I think it's a game plan problem. I think he needs to switch teams, shake things up. He just looks like he's just unmotivated in his fights. Depressed,
like he's just missing
almost.
he's missing out on his potential or something.
100%.
Yeah, I 100% agree with everything you said. Very confusing. Very confusing performance.
For sure. And we should also talk about Rizvan too, just while we're talking about this fight. He's going to be top 6 probably.
Yeah.
Where do you think he goes? Who do you think he fights? Do you think he has top 5 potential? I don't know.
Man, I don't know. I think considering how nonchalant Jailton Almeida was in that fight and how little Rizvan Kuniev wanted to hunt for a finish either, because I know a lot of the criticism is going to be about Almeida, but Rizvan Kuniev was equally as uninitiated. It looked a little bit different because Almeida was just kind of like, didn't really care he didn't have any urgency with defense. Like once Rizvan Kuniev closed in on him and he has like 8 feet of space behind him before he hits the cage, instead of circling and, getting good head position and like pummeling his hands and hand fighting and like breaking away, he just kind of like stood upright and just like let him walk him back and hit the cage. And he looks over at Dan Murray like, what are you doing? It's like, dude, you got yourself in this situation. Yeah, it's dumb that Rizvan Kuniev is just like ramming you into the cage and just sitting there and not doing anything. It's dumb. But it's kind of your own fault for not defending it when you had the opportunity to. But Rizvan Kuniev, he did not win any fans this fight either. He did not look like he had any care in the world to finish that fight.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
And you do have to talk. I'm pretty sure it was a short notice fight for Gelatin. So I can try to give him props in that aspect that he took a fight he didn't need to. And, it was short notice, so he maybe didn't develop a great game plan, training for a guy like Rizvan. But he was in shape. He looked, like he was capable of doing what he did to Sergey Spivak, and could have done that to Rizvan. And so it's tough to see. I would like to see Rizvan fight Sergey Pavlovich. I think that's a good fight. Sergey hasn't fought in a while. Volkov is probably waiting out for a title after his win against Gelatin. Shogun and Tom are going to get a rematch. So I think Sergey, he's top 4. He's just kind of chilling. I think that'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
And this fight could have been kind of an error in our MMA timeline. It could be that Rizvan goes on a fat loss streak after this and gets smoked, and then he just goes back to being unranked, or he could honestly shock the world and beat a top 5 heavyweight, like Sergey Pavlovich or, Volkov, something like that. So I'm excited to see what he does in the future, but it's just, this fight was terrible. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you're right. Sergey Pavlovich would be a good fight, but I have no way of speculating how that fight would look because whatever.
Sergey has the same problem.
Well, I can't.
Gelatin.
I can't even tell what Rizvan Kuniev's style is. Like whatever the hell that was is not going to work against a lot of the top 5. That would not work against Sirogan or Aspinall at the very least. Like as long as those guys
would smoke him.
Oh yeah, as long as those guys are still active, Rizvan Kuniev is never becoming champion.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have anything more to say about this fight.